What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Kia K5 GT. Huge thank you to Angel Sanchez over at Safford Kia of Manassas, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular K5 GT or any Kia product, then I'll be sure to have Angel's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a beautiful winter day here in VA, but I wanted to apologize in advance if there is any wind noise in today's video. It is a bit breezy outside, however, I think we should be okay. But just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Kia K5 GT, and this particular one's been painted in the beautiful $495 runaway red. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the K5 has been refreshed inside and out with sharper exterior looks and updated interior technology. I also wanted to mention that the lower three trim levels of the K5 get a new power plant, but that does not pertain to the GT because the GT retains the same power plant as last year's model. But this particular one being the GT, as standard, you get LED reflector headlights with high beam assist, as well as amber LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now the GT not only gets the sporty exterior looks, but it also gets a fantastic power plant under the hood, which we will discuss later on in the video. This thing hauls bleep. I don't want to say it. I don't want to get demonetized, but you guys will see that on the driving portion of the video. But taking a few steps to the left, here's a front-on shot of the K5 GT. I apologize that my shadow's kind of in the shot a little bit, but you can see you have your Kia logo located at the center of the hood. When you come down just a little bit, you get gloss black upper, lower, and outer grills. Again, this is the upper grill, the lower grill, and the outer grills on the outside of your front bumper. Again, I think that gloss black just accents this beautiful runaway red paint very, very nicely. But speaking of safety features, as standard with the GT, you get 4 forward-facing sensors. And then also you get an overall really aggressive front end here with the GT. Now they do offer the GT line both in front wheel drive and all wheel drive. The GT line gives you the sporty exterior looks, but it gives you the base power plant. The GT gives you the sporty exterior looks and that phenomenal power plant under the hood, which really propels this thing from 0 to 60 very, very quickly. I do have one gripe though with the GT that I will get into when we are on the driving portion of the video. But in my opinion, I think this is one of the best sedans that you can buy in 2025 for the money. It looks great, it performs well, and the interior is nice, which with a bunch of different amenities that you can either option, but as standard, it comes very nicely equipped. Again, just my personal opinion. But coming on down the side, as mentioned, the GT backs up the name. You do get a sport tuned suspension, and these are the standard GT wheels, and they are 19-inch gloss black with machine accent wheels that are wrapped in 245/40 Pirelli P0 all-season tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires, and I'm also going to throw the price of these a set of these tires on screen right now as well. Now again, the GT being the sporty trim level of the K5, you also get larger brakes all around and neon green calipers as well with the black GT script. Again, that is at all 4 corners, not just the front. Now taking a few steps back, I wanted to mention that you could get the optional $4,400 GT1 package that would give you gloss black wheels. So if you're not a fan of the machine accent, which I personally kind of like the machine accenting, you could take a look at the GT1 package. It's just kind of expensive. Here comes a plane. Anyways, coming on down the side, you get gloss black side view mirrors with integrated turn signals, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Now taking a few steps back, you're not really going to be able to see it until I bring the camera up top here, but the GT comes standard with the panoramic sunroof, which kind of gives it the appearance that you get a black painted roof. Here's a look of what the sunroof looks like when it is open from the exterior's perspective. Kind of interesting, but also really cool looking as well. And again, it just gives you the appearance that you have a black painted roof, which accents the red very, very nicely in my personal opinion. Now you can see you get a mix of satin chrome and satin black for your window trim. Satin chrome at the top of the windows, satin black at the bottom of the windows. You also get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, however, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. Then you also get your gloss black shark fin antenna up there as well. Now coming on down the side, you have your fuel door right here. You don't get a capless filler neck. What is nice about the GT is that you can fill this thing up with 87 octane. You don't have to put premium in this, and that is due, or excuse me, I got that information from the Kia website. I guess you could put 91 or 93 octane in this if you wanted to, but it is not required. Now back here, you have your third brake light. You have a rear window defroster. You can see that satin chrome trim wraps around kind of like the center of your trunk lid. Kind of looks very nice. Then you get some gloss black accenting here at the front, or towards the front of that deck lid. Now here's a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. This thing comes standard with LED combination taillights. And one thing I forgot to mention, this thing comes with a 15.8 gallon fuel tank. Now here's a little booty shot. You can see you get your satin silver badging back here. I really like how the taillights connect. However, the taillights stop right here and right here, but you can see again, satin silver badging back here. You have your backup camera located at the center of your taillights. Excuse me, I accidentally hit the panic button. There we go. And then to the right of your backup camera, that is the button you would press in order to open up your trunk. This also does have the smart trunk. So if you have your key fob in your pocket and you walk up to the vehicle and you have the smart trunk function activated, the trunk's basically going to open up when it senses you getting close to it. One thing that is nice back here, you have these 2 controls. So if you pull back on either one of those, that is how you drop your second row seats. It is a 60-40 split, 60% here on the passenger side, 40% there on the driver's side. Now the dimensions of what you got going on back here, you get nearly 4 feet of trunk space from the seat back to about right here. I think it's like 3 inches shy. And then you also get 22 inches of height. I'll put the dimensions of what you get with those wheel wells together, and then also what you get from the widest point of the trunk to the widest point of the trunk there. Now, this particular one is an option with the $185 carpeted floor mats. You can see you get the K5 script right there. And then that's really one of the only options other than the paint color. And if you lift up on this, you also get a spare tire, your jack, and everything that you need to change a flat tire if, God forbid, you do end up getting a flat. That's kind of about it for what we got going on in the trunk area. Now let's finish things off here at the rear end. So just like the front, you also get 4 parking sensors back here as well. You get some gloss black accenting here for your rear valance, so it's kind of red there. Then you get that gloss black surrounding your quad tip exhaust that you also get with the GT. There's a closer view of the quad tip exhaust. You also get a nice gray rear diffuser. Here's a little sound clip of the exhaust. And then just like the front, you also get an aggressive rear design as well. And you can see taillights a little bit different from the 2024 to the 2025. They kind of come down on the outsides just a little bit more. Again, just refining the styling of the K5. As if it didn't already look great, they made it look just a little bit better, a little bit more sharp. And one package I wanted to go over is the $4,400 GT1 package. Because here on the exterior, if you did want that package, again, you get the 19-inch gloss black wheels, you get the power side view mirrors with mirror memory, you also get side parking sensors, and last but not least, if you did get the GT1 package, you would also get a 360-degree view camera system. You can read everything else that you get with that package on screen right now. But other than that, let me know what your guys' opinions are on the 2025 K5 GT in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. How are you?
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Popping open that hood reveals the 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder that produces 290 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.2 seconds. And if you are wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 23 miles per gallon in the city, 33 miles per gallon on the highway for 27 miles per gallon combined with front-wheel drive only. That is one of my gripes with the K5 GT, is that it only comes in front-wheel drive. This thing has so much torque that when you rip this thing off the line, it really does like to spin the tires. So you really got to put a nice tire on this thing in order for this thing to hook, because it truly does have that much low end power. It is a blast to drive, which you'll see on the driving portion of the video. But again, that is my only gripe. I wish that they would incorporate all-wheel drive with this thing. Other than that, this thing is an awesome vehicle. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are enjoying the video, those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. Also, not only do I do car review videos, I also do build videos with my C6 Z06, my Camaro SS, and my 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. If you are interested in seeing any of those cars with some nice vlog style action, please hit that subscribe button and also follow me on Instagram at 703speed. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this button right here, and it will unlock. You can press that very same button again and it will lock right back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's mostly gray, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your trunk pop function, your panic function, and on the opposite side, you have your remote start function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is lock it first, press and hold on this button, and she will fire right up. And that is what the GT sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. Now let's see what the interior of this particular GT has to offer. So this one has been spec'd with the black Syntex seat trim with the neon green stitching. I believe that is the only interior color option that you can choose from, but we're going to start here on our door panel. So up top here, you get some vinyl wrapping, you get some gray trim, you get some satin chrome trim, and then obviously you get that neon green accent colored stitching. You have your power side view mirror controls, your unlock and your lock functions, automatic up and down windows in the front. You do not get automatic up or down windows in the back unless you option for the $4,400 GT1 package. Then you would get the automatic up and down windows in the back. And then this button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges, and it is also a child lock for your second row passengers. So if that light is illuminated, your second row passengers will not be able to get outside without somebody coming to open up their door. Also, nicely padded armrest, quite a bit of storage space down there, and a spot you could set a water bottle. Last but not least, on the door panel, this thing comes standard with a 6-speaker audio system. If you wanted the 12-speaker Bose sound system, again, take a look at the $4,400 GT1 package. But again, this is what these front seats look like, and as standard with this, you get a 10-way power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar. You also get a 6-way manual front passenger seat, and heated front seats come standard. If you wanted a power passenger seat as well as ventilated front seats, take a look at the GT1 package. But I'm gonna step into the interior, take a listen to what it sounds like when we close the door. And then that is the interior here of the GT. And now I'm going to walk you throughout the entire interior. Starting over here, you get a defroster for your front driver window. You get an HVAC vent beneath that. Down here, this button is going to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. That is to turn your traction control system on or off. That right there is to pop open your trunk. Now, on the side of the steering wheel, if you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Basically, what I mean by that, you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring it towards you, and it also moves up and down. Once you found your comfortable position, all you gotta do is lock it right back into place. And now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the K5. Not only is it your turn signal control stock, obviously it is also the high beam control stock and your headlight and fog light control stock. So all the way up, that's headlights on. That is parking lights on. It also lets you know on screen right there what it is doing. Down one more, that is headlights automatic, and all the way down is headlights off. To turn your fog lights on, your headlights have to be in the on position. Otherwise, if they were in the parking light position, you would not have access to the the fog lights. I'm gonna move over here into the shade because you're gonna get a better view of what I am talking about. So I'm gonna pull this thing in right here. And then also, again, this one being the GT, you get the leather wrapped flat bottom steering wheel with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the K5. And I'm not sure if I turned the turn signal on. I think I did, but I'm gonna do it again. that is what the turn signal sounds like here on the K5. Now, going over the controls on the steering wheel, coming over to here, that button is to speak to the vehicle. If you are connected to Apple CarPlay, if you press and hold on that, that will pop open Siri. And then that mode button and then that star function right there, both of those buttons are configurable. So we're gonna click on the mode button. It's gonna bring you into this screen. And with the mode button, you can see all of these different things you can choose from. You can choose all of these if you wanted to. You can choose 3 of them, you can choose 4 of them. But let's say we have AM, Bluetooth music, and Amazon music, right? So anytime we click that mode button, it's gonna go from Bluetooth audio, Amazon music, AM, back to Bluetooth audio, Amazon music, AM. And then basically you see it just goes in that circle there. So that is what that button does. I'm not gonna mess with any of those controls here yet, but same premise behind this star button. However, with the star button, you can only select one of these. So it can either, you know, reject or end a phone call, change hands-free calling device, privacy mode, any of these things here. You can bring it to your home screen, any of these here, but you can only select one of them. I'm going to leave it on none for right now. And then you have your volume control, volume up, volume down. Click on that, that's gonna mute the audio system. One thing that's interesting about Kias is that if you click up, that is going to bring you backwards on a track. If you click down, that is going to bring you forwards on a track. Then you have your phone button. Click on the phone button. It's going to bring you into your phone screen here on the infotainment system. Otherwise, it would bring you into the phone screen on the Apple CarPlay system, or the phone screen that is just here on the infotainment system. So that is what that does. Now, coming over to the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you see these 2 controls here. Both of these controls are for your 4.2-inch productivity screen. And then all these other controls here are for your driving assistance settings, or driving assistance features. So you have smart cruise control with stop and go. It is a navigation-based system. And then you also get the highway driving assistant. The highway driving assistant is kind of a semi-autonomous driving system. It keeps you in the lane. It's basically like semi-autonomous, so basically it keeps you in the lane, and then it also modulates the throttle and the brake. It is a very nice system for driving on long road trips. And then also, I believe if you press and hold on like one of these screens, it will bring you into your driving assistance settings here on the infotainment system. I believe you got to go to like right here. So then you press and hold OK, and then it will bring you into your driving assistance settings here on the infotainment system. So you just got to go into this screen on the productivity screen. So this is what the productivity screen looks like. You can see you have the transmission status stuff, your fuel range, current trip information, speed limit sign, ambient exterior temperature, and your odometer. Again, to control that screen, you have these 2 controls here. So I'm going to click down. You can see your since refueling information, since last reset information. I'm going to click this button right here. You can see your compass. Then you have your driving assistance features. I showed you guys that. Click that one more time. Then you have your tire pressure stuff. You do have to be driving in order to pop up your tire pressure stuff. Then you have your speedometer there, tachometer there, coolant temperature, and then down here you have your fuel gauge. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that if you wanted this to be a digital gauge cluster, you would have to opt for the GT1 package. Again, $4,400. It's going to give you that 12.3-inch curved display, so you get a 12.3-inch infotainment system as well as a 12.3-inch digital dash. Again, you're going to have to spend $4,400 in order to get that. Is it needed? No. Is it nice? Absolutely. Now, coming over to here, as standard, you get a 12.3-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. This is what the screen looks like. So this is the home screen. You get your map stuff, audio stuff, phone stuff, temperature, or excuse me, not temperature, time, date. This is going to bring you into your menu. So you get your profile settings, online manual. If you swipe down, you get your quick control screen. You can turn the display off, adjust the brightness of it. You can turn those beeps on or off. You can see the beep, like the beep. Quiet mode, basically it's going to turn off the rear speakers. It's going to lower these front speakers to a low volume, so it's not going to disturb people sleeping in the back if that's what you wanted to do. Swipe over to here, you have all of these different things, phone protection, all of these different shortcuts, weather, valet mode, setup, all of these different things here. One thing I did want to show you is the setup screen. So let's say you wanted to go find your driver assistance features, right? The easiest way that I found to do that is click that magnifying glass and type in driving assistance features, and it should pop up. Boom, driver assistance. Or if you wanted to look up something else, like we wanted to go into like sound settings or something like that, we would just type in, well, you gotta spell sound right in order to do that, but it's gonna pop up your sound stuff right there. So anyways, magnifying glass makes it very easy to go throughout that screen. And then just remember down there you have your home button and stuff like that. Very, very easy to use screen. I really don't feel like I need to spend too much time on it, but you do get shortcuts to the screen down here. But this screen is kind of confusing if you've never been in here before. So I'm gonna flip this screen so you can see. Now it's my temperature control, and then I got my fan speed and stuff like that. But if you wanted to get your shortcuts for the infotainment system, swipe up like that, and then you got your home button, right? It's gonna pop up your home screen. So click home, boom, home screen. Or you can pop up your map stuff. You can pop up your search stuff. You can go backwards on a track, forwards on a track, media stuff. Then you have your setup screen. I went over the setup screen, but this button right here, you can see that star. Very similar premise to this star. This star is filled in. This star is not filled in. Same idea. It can be any of these things here on the screen. Bluetooth audio. It's only going to be one of them though. So it's a configurable button, and you can choose any of these, but it can only be one of them. So anytime you click that, it can pop up quiet mode. It can turn the display on or off. Right now, again, it is set to none, and that's the way that I'm going to leave it because this is not my vehicle. Down here, 2 HVAC vents, push button, start button. Got your hazard button there at the center that flashes with the hazards. So right now, again, we are on the infotainment screen here. So we have our volume control. Push on that. That's going to mute the audio system. Come over to here. This is going to switch you between your different radio stations. Then this is always on the screen. You get your front defroster, your rear defroster, auto climate, and recirculating. You get all of your different shortcut buttons here for the infotainment screen. But again, boom, you swipe that. Now, these both are your temperature controls. Clicking on this is going to turn the system on or off. You get your fan speed stuff, direction of the airflow. It's going to sync the temperatures together. That's to turn AC on or off. I do kind of like this screen. However, when I first got in a vehicle like this, I was like, how do I use this? It's just very easy. Boom, you just swipe, and it basically switches you between those different things. Kind of cool, kind of useful. And then down here, click that, boom, you get a 12-volt power outlet. You get 2 USB-C ports. You also get a wireless charging pad that is located right here. iPhone 14 Pro Max, it does fit in the wireless charging pad, and it lets you know up here on screen. See that battery with that bolt through? That's how you know if the wireless charging pad is active. You also get a little bit of storage space to the left of that as well. You get a leather wrapped gear shifter here. If you wanted to go into manual mode, you got to go into drive, flip this to the left, and now you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, or you can push up to upshift and pull down to downshift. I would rather use the paddle shifters personally. And then to the right of that, you have your 2 cup holders. This is going to turn your parking sensor beep beep beeps on or off. You get your auto hold function. You press that, the vehicle is going to hold you in place by itself with its braking system. That is nice for when you are in heavy traffic, and all you would have to do is hit the accelerator and you go forward again. Very, very nice feature there. Then you get your electronic parking brake. Pull up to engage it. If you wanted to disengage it, you have to push your foot on the brake, push against that, and that will disengage the electronic parking brake. And then this right here is going to pop up your backup camera, and then it would also pop up your 360-degree view camera system if this vehicle did have if it had the GT1 package. Again, standard heated front seats. You get 3 levels of adjustability with the heated front seats, and then in between those 2 controls you have your drive mode selector. You have 3 different drive modes. So you've got your normal mode, you've got your sport mode, and then you also have your my drive mode. So basically sport mode is going to adjust the throttle response essentially, and then over here if you go into the my drive mode, what you can adjust is, you know, it could be in powertrain, normal, sport, sport plus, or smart, which is basically if you're driving slow, it's going to try to get you good fuel economy. If you're driving hard, it's going to put you into sport mode. That's basically what smart mode does. And then you can also adjust the steering feel. So you can either be a little bit firmer, which is what the sport feel is, or it can be normal, which makes it just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to leave it on what it is now. I'm going to go back into normal mode. Then you get some storage space here. You get a nicely padded armrest. You open this thing up, you get another USB-C port, and then down in here, I would say you probably get about, let's see, how many inches? You get about 7 inches of depth, followed by about, I don't know, 8 to 9 inches from front to back here. Nice to have that little Milwaukee, please sponsor me with anything, maybe an impact, that would be nice. And then speaking of the seats, I love these seats. They got a very nice bolster both here and here. I'm 5'9", about 150 pounds. These seats fit me nicely. I feel like even if you were about $180 to $200, you'd still be comfortable in these front seats. Over here, you can see you have your glove box with actually quite a bit of storage space. Auto dimming rearview mirror. You get your roadside assistance buttons here. This is to turn your lights on. Both of your interior lights are LED. This button is to turn on all of your interior dome lights. You can see those rear lights are on, now they are off. This is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the door. When that light is illuminated, when you open up the door, the interior lights will turn on. When that light is not illuminated, when you open up the doors, the lights will not turn on. And then again, this one does have the panoramic sunroof, which is standard with the GT. So you can see, you can open it up, very nice views out of the roof. And then this front piece opens, that rear piece does not open. Coming over to here, you can see you have your visor. It does slide forwards and backwards for when the sun is in those awkward positions. And then you also get a light here with your massive vanity mirror. OPU panel here for the driver. You get the same thing over there for the front passenger. And again, just a very comfortable experience here from the driver's perspective. A couple things I wanted to mention that you get as standard: dual zone climate control. The GT gives you the rear air vents, which is definitely nice. If you did want to make this thing fully loaded, you might want to take a look at the $4,400 GT1 package. You can take a look at everything that gives you. Digital key 2.0 is basically using your phone as a key, and you can transfer your phone. If your friend wanted to drive the car, you can transfer the key to their phone. That is what the digital key 2.0 is. You would also get a 12-speaker Bose sound system, power front passenger seat, ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, 360 cam. Again, it's going to give you all the options of a modern day fully loaded vehicle. It is expensive, but again, if you want a fully loaded K5 GT, take a look at that. And now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard, take a look at everything that the GT gives you, take a look at the fuel economy, whatever you want to take a look at. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 K5 GT is spec'd is $34,925. Again, in my personal opinion, I think that is a fantastic deal for what you get. It's a very fun driving experience. It looks great on the exterior, and it's just a really good car, after, altogether. Even if it's not fully loaded, I think you still get all the features that you could ever really want or need on a vehicle. Again, that's just my personal opinion. Again, you don't get automatic up or down windows back here, but the windows go nearly all the way down. Again, automatic up and down windows come with the GT1 package. Padded armrest, speaker, storage base. This is what the second row seats look like. You get a center fold down armrest here with 2 cup holders. Again, 5'9", adjusted behind myself, plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of that. 5'9", I still have a inch or 2 of headroom left over. If I was a little bit taller, I could kind of slouch a little bit and make up for that. OPU panel, dry cleaning hook, and a dome light. You get seat back pockets behind both the driver and the front passenger seat. The GT gives you these rear HVAC vents as well as those 2 USB-C ports down there. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior of this thing. So, we've talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Super quick. I mean, this thing really accelerates very well from 0 to 60. I haven't really gone any faster than what I just did right there, but I would imagine that on the highway it still has that really good low end torque. I mean, this thing, you just barely get on it. Really, once you get around 1600 RPM is really kind of where this thing really just starts to pull hard. And the first time that I ever drove a K5 GT, I was actually really taken aback by how powerful it was. I mean, it really shocks you because you're not expecting this thing to be as quick as it really is. And what's nice about it is you don't have to really rip on it to feel that power. I mean, I'll do just a regular acceleration here where you just kind of feel the power, get into the power band. I mean, it rips, and it's got a really, really good transmission to go along with the power plant. It's got an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, so the shifts are just lightning quick. I'll do some downshifting here. I mean, it's just as soon as you press the paddle, the shift is there, which is stuff that I personally really appreciate. I also just really not only like the driving experience, I also just really appreciate how good of an SUV this thing looks. I mean, it really does look sweet. Here's a little acceleration. I mean, just, you see, I wasn't even anywhere near full throttle, and it just gets me right up to above the speed limit in, you know, really quickly, which is what I like. I really like in a vehicle, I really like effortless power, and this thing has effortless power. I mean, you don't have to get on it, and it's just right at the speed that you want to be at. I mean, it truly is really impressive when it comes to that. It's also just a really nice driving experience. Again, my only gripe with this is that it doesn't come with all-wheel drive. But then you can compare it to a Volkswagen Golf GTI that is also front-wheel drive only, and that performs really well. I mean, I really think that if you put a better gripping tire on this thing, it would just absolutely rip. But I mean, it'll spin through tires very easily. I mean, I'll show you that here. I mean, traction control really helps it out, but when you put it into sport mode, it's just ready to go. So just a very fun driving experience. It looks great. If, you know, you're a younger person and you want a really nice looking sedan that's not going to break the bank, but it's also going to be fun to drive, I would definitely take a close look at the K5 GT. It looks great on the exterior. I think that, you know, if you're looking to pull up on a date or something, I think your date would be impressed by the look of this thing. I mean, I think that it has that appearance. It looks great, tons of connectivity, really nice features here on the interior as well, and it's just a great driving experience overall. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. Also, not only do I do car reviews, I also do vlog style videos with my C6, Z06, Camaro SS, and Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. If any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at 703speed. I post behind the scenes of what I do here with the car review videos, but also what I do in my day-to-day life. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, follow me on Instagram, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.